Let's dive into one of the weirdest, most awkward things we humans do, nervous laughter. It feels so wrong. But today, we're going to uncover the surprising science of why your brain does it, and you'll see it's actually a pretty amazing story about survival.
I mean, come on, you know what I'm talking about. We have all been there, right? That moment when a laugh just bursts out of you at the absolute worst possible time, and you just wish you could become invisible.
Yeah, maybe it was during a super serious talk with your boss, or when someone was sharing some really heavy news, or, the classic example, at a funeral. It's this bizarre, totally out-of-place laugh that just doesn't match what's happening at all.
And it feels awful, doesn't it? Because you immediately see the looks on people's faces. The judgment kicks in, and the assumption is always that you're being rude or that you're just a completely uncaring person who isn't taking things seriously. It's a really painful misunderstanding.
Okay, but what if I told you that common belief is 100% wrong? The actual scientific reality, it completely flips this idea on its head. This isn't about being disrespectful. It's a straight-up survival mechanism hardwired into your brain.
And here it is, the key idea. I want you to picture your brain under an insane amount of pressure. We're talking intense fear, shock, or grief. It's like a soda can that's been shaken up and is about to explode. It desperately needs to vent that pressure, and laughter, weirdly enough, becomes the emergency release valve.
So, okay, how in the world does that actually work? Let's get into the biology of it all. The nuts and bolts of what your body is doing when it's under that kind of stress. Your body basically has a gas pedal and a brake pedal. The gas is that fight or flight response that gets you all amped up. Well, the brake is something called the parasympathetic system. Its whole job is to pump the brakes, slow everything down, and tell your body, hey, it's okay, the crisis is over, you can chill out now.
And this is the truly wild part. Laughter is how your body can manually slam on that brake. The physical act of laughter, the breathing, the muscle contractions, it literally kicks the parasympathetic system into gear. And when that happens, your stress levels start to drop, and it pulls you out of that panicked fight-or-flight state. It's like a biological reset button.
All right, so that's the physical side of things. But what about the mental side? What's going on in your head? Let's look at the psychological why your brain chooses laughter of all things as its tool in these moments. Psychologists have a term for this. They call it a displacement defense mechanism. I know, it sounds complicated, but it's actually a pretty simple idea. Imagine your brain gets hit with an emotion that is just too big, too overwhelming to handle head-on, like pure terror or deep, deep shock. It can't process it. So what does it do? It performs a little magic trick. It redirects all that intense energy towards something else, something it can manage. And this whole thing happens in a split second. Look at this sequence. First, bam, you're hit with this massive emotion. Your brain immediately goes, whoa, nope, can't deal with that safely. So in this incredible act of self-preservation, it just shunts all that emotional energy sideways, and it comes out as the physical act of laughter. And just like that, the pressure is released, the system avoids a total meltdown. So putting the biology and the psychology together, how does this change the way we should look at this super strange human behavior? What's the big takeaway here?
This is really the bottom line. When you see someone laugh nervously, you're not seeing someone who doesn't care. You're actually seeing the exact opposite. You are looking at someone whose emotional circuits are completely fried. It's a sign of being deeply overwhelmed, not detached. And understanding this really changes everything. First, for yourself. The next time it happens to you, instead of feeling ashamed, just be a little kinder to yourself. Recognize it for what it is, your body doing its absolute best to cope. And for others, when you see it happen, it's a chance to offer empathy instead of judgment. That person is probably having a really, really tough moment. So, I'll just leave you with this thought. Now that you know what's really going on, the next time you see it happen, what are you going to see? Will you see someone being rude, or will you see a human brain in a moment of crisis doing something incredible to protect itself?